Alrighty, morning to one and all. We're going to attempt a video on the Iris Silience Twister. And that would be this fine looking aircraft in front of you. That's pretty awesome. Some of the nifty neat things to note about this particular aircraft. As you can see, she does have flaps. The trim tabs are just exactly that. They're trim tabs. You can still trim out the aircraft using the controls for the aileron trim tabs and the rudder trim tabs, and of course for the elevator trim tabs as well. The real airplane, though, you need a special tool, a little flat bar with a notch in it, so that you could grab the tab and, I don't know, bend it this way or bend it that way, and that'll help you fly straight and level, I guess. But anyway, there's two variations on this aircraft. This one has retractable gear, and there are others that have fixed gear, and you may notice a difference in tail wheels. Some are faired out like this one, and others are built into the oh, we can see the pointer. Good. You can see the tail wheels got a little cut out through here, or maybe it's up here somewhere, but anyhow, tail wheel sticks out. When you get into this aircraft, it's already sitting on the runway ready to go. All you got to do is firewall the throttle and away you go. This aircraft, when trimmed correctly, can fly at roughly, I think, something like 30 knots. That's awesome. You can do a serious short field landing if she's full flaps and she's trimmed out properly. And if you got a good stiff headwind, about 20 knots or so, you could just about hover with this thing. I haven't had that much wind yet, so I don't know if that holds true or not. But it is an actual aircraft. It is a kit-built aircraft. I forget what the plans cost, somewhere between $100 and $500, I guess. You could go online and you can check out videos for the Silience Twister. This particular model, meaning the computer-generated type, I think it would be neat if they would bump it up a little bit, and you would actually have the aircraft on a trailer. The wings come off at the roots. The horizontal stabilizers, they pull right out, and I think that would be neat if you could do something like that and just go to the trailer and, you know, tap on the tail and it rolls off the trailer about 10 feet. Tap the wings, it goes into place. The other wing, the horizontal stabilizers, all that good stuff. But yeah, go to YouTube and check out Silience Twister videos. There's not much in the line of pre-flight, although were we doing this for real, I'd be guesstimating that first thing we do is pop open the canopy, look inside, set the parking brake, go back outside, and just walk along the fuselage, make sure she doesn't have any nicks or dings in her. You could check your stabilizers and your rudder, and of course the same on this side. Make sure everything works properly, left, right, and everything's free to tip. Then you come on over here, check the wing root, make sure all the fasteners are correct, and you probably have to be inside to look down through here. I guess there's a panel you could pop out and make sure there's like a pin that has to go in there, or a bolt of some kind perhaps, and do the same for the other wing, and then just bounce on out and check your flaps and of course ailerons. And if the last flight you was having a hard time keeping her level, well, then you might want to break out your tool and put a little pressure on that trim tab. Check the lights, which doesn't have much for lights. It's got a 2-position switch, one which is just the navigation lights. Are they on? Evidently not, because the battery's not on. But all right, battery. Yes. Boom. All right. So we got, that's all there is for the lights basically. Although it does have a strobe position. One more click, left click with the mouse actually. And there you have it. That's it for the lighting. This is obviously a daylight only aircraft to fly. Though I'm sure you can put a couple more touches to it. To turn the lights off, right click with the mouse, right click on the mouse, and right click again to turn everything off. We bounce back outside. Check your pitot tube underneath, leading edge, make sure that everything's not cracked for the lights. Check your landing gear, check the tire pressure, wear and tear, make sure there's no cats up in your wheel well, or raccoons or possums. Check your flap, check the connections. Of course you could check some fuel. I think there's fuel tanks in the wings. Get underneath, check it again, check the air intake, check the exhaust. I don't know if you'd have to remove the cowling or if it has an inspection panel and you can just pop open and check the oil. Add as necessary. Check the prop, the spinner, check your intakes, check all your connections, make sure you got all your screws, Zeus fasteners, whatever. Check it all over on this side. Landing gear, make sure these are empty. Check your flaps, check fuel, check tire pressure, condition of the strut and or landing gear leg, and leading edge, wingtip, light, and check your aileron, make sure it's free moving, and come on back around, and of course remove all tie downs and chocks. Supposedly there's a little bit of cargo space on this thing. I'm not sure where, but it'd be nice if that was Model 2. But obviously there's not. As you can see, there is nobody in the cockpit. If you put 0 wait for the pilot, then you have 0 pilot. And it gives you a choice. Really? All right. What about 2? Shift 2. Okay. You can have this checked if you want it to auto start. You can have this checked for it to auto shut down. I taxied over here. It put me at the east end of the runway. I taxied over, shut it down. This, by the way, is County Poor Farm, 67 Lima, Lima. This is my new home base. Used to be India Sierra 65 Wood Lake Landing in Sandwich, Illinois. Now we're back home again in the big city of Oregon, Illinois. Yay. This airfield, according to Google Maps, is not here anymore. So I thought I seen an advertisement that it was here at one time. Anyhow, you can do male pilot or female pilot. Strictly male, thank you. Let's see what we got here. Make you disappear. All right. So let's come on down here and get a little closer. Come back over this way. No, we should be up a little higher here, folks. I mean, this might be a bit too high, but all right. So if we get in and take a look around, as you can see, it's pretty cramped. It's got a nice bucket seat. I'm assuming that the real aircraft has the whole shoulder harness rig and everything else. Got the canopy latch. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. And I do think that the window here slides out, but I haven't messed with it, so I don't know. As you can see, we got an interesting cyclic, and it does move. It's got rudder pedals, so you can't see them. I can't even see them move in the shadow. As you see, it does come with GPS. Your landing gear switch, EGT, G-force. I think this is what? Oh dear. Oh, that's the altimeter, duh. Okay, G-force, EGT, manifold pressure on the left, fuel pressure on the right, RPM. As you can see, there's a couple of hours on this plane. I don't know if I can get closer to this or not. Oh, almost 50 hours. Well, you can tell I fly the snot out of this thing. Fuel gauge, you have 2 needles, I think. No, that's getting me confused with the microjet. You do have fuel cock over here. Where are you? There you are. You'd left click. Oh, right click, sorry. So right click to right tank, both, and left. And then to turn it off, left click, left click, left click. Okay, fuel's off. We do have a radio stack, and I think this is for distance measuring equipment. I don't mess with that stuff. I really do want to learn it one of these days, and well, being 60, I don't have many one of these days left. So I need to get my butt in gear and get this stuff figured out. Okay, oh, you got your switches here. Flaps up, alternator, master battery, avionics, strobe. And what? First click is for nav lights, second click is for strobes, which I don't think is really that helpful. Now you got an on-off switch here for your GPS. I think this is backwards. This is usually to zoom in, but in this one it's a zoom out key. And again, it's backwards. This is normally the zoom out, but in this case it's the zoom in. I believe you could do this as usual if you're used to the default GPS in FSX. If this is turned off, I don't think that that it will do anything, even if you throw the avionics bus on. Okay, let's make you go out. Okay, you have to left click to turn it on, right click to turn it off. Okay, so in theory, that should be that. Let's turn off the avionics bus. This is all left click, right click. So if you left click once, left click twice, it turns everything on. Right click once, nav lights, right click again, off. The avionics bus, right click, left click to turn it on, right click to turn it off. Battery, of course, left click to turn it on, right click to turn it off. And that would be the same for the flaps. Right? 2, 3, up. All right. Now, since the power is out, near as I can tell, the flap should still be down, but once you turn on the battery, then the flap should come up. So let's back off a little bit. All right, flaps are still down. Excellent. It's got your whiskey compass down here, and it's almost impossible to see. I mean, you can probably set here, bring it up a little bit. Oh dear. Man, you should be able to see it good, but I think you're just a little bit too short for the cowling here. So we get up above that, but then we lose the whiskey compass. So hit the right control and the enter button, and it'll back you out a little bit more. So at least you'll be able to see the compass anyhow. Okay, now I have looked at the manual for this thing. I don't have a copy of it though. There is one from Iris, but I'm so disorganized I couldn't find it today if my life depended on it. But anyway, they suggest that when you go to fly this beast, before you start it up, it's like look outside and say, "Yo, clear, pop," and then close your canopy. All right, nicely done. A little slow. This is strictly cosmetic. None of the buttons work. All right, so let's push that in. Go down here, right click once, right click twice for both. You should be off here, right? There you are. Okay, I didn't even see that. Somebody else probably did. Sorry, guys. I don't claim to be a professional pilot. All right, now if we hit the master battery, then we should be able to watch the flaps come up. Nicely done. And near as I can tell, they're not like the Mustang or the Mustang doors for the landing gear. Those just hang down as the pressure bleeds off. Once you start the hydraulics back up, well then they close back up. So I'm assuming that that's the way it works for this thing. If you've seen this from the outside and from above, you definitely think, wow, Spitfire. That looks pretty awesome, doesn't it? They do have a camouflaged version with invasion stripes, and that's a hot-looking little beast. Da, 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 da. Oh, and since we're sitting in the plane, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm going to throw some weight in here, and I'm going to fudge a little bit. Well, maybe not by much. Alrighty. And 3 pounds, who cares? It's a flight simulator. And besides, we'll burn off at least 1 pound of that by the time we get over to the end of the runway to take off. If you're familiar with the Oregon area, we got a couple of hills to the right, west end, and we got trees and river to the left, east end. I hope I said right. All right, everybody, we've already yelled and told everybody we're going to clear prop here. So here we go. Here, you're there, you're in, brake is on. Yep, hold back on your control stick here. And let's see about starting this beast. All right, here we go. Contact. Nicely done. I got the volume turned down. If the volume was up, this thing would have a very deep-throated rumble. Almost like sitting inside a P-47 or maybe a Mustang with an Allison engine. Fuel indicator lights, oil pressure, not locked as usually when it's in transit. All right, let's toss on. Well, we should have had our lights on too. Going by the checklist, you wouldn't have forgot that. And alternator, and of course flaps are up, and as you can see, the GPS is off. Left click, GPS is on. Again, with the default GPS. Hold on a second. Incoming call. Comcast. Oh, this is going to be a while. So we'll talk to you later. Bye for now. All right. So here we are. We're idling over. That was a Comcast phone call. I'm having. Oh, Pooh Bear. Oh, well, this is a pain. All right. Note to self. Before you turn on your shadow play recorder, make sure that your aircraft and or flight sim is off of pause. Otherwise, if you're recording, you're just going to be recording pause. That sucks. Anyhow, here we go. That's up close enough so that we can look out. I think I want to get it just a bit above here. Yep. All right. I don't necessarily need the GPS, but anyhow, I was going to show before we got interrupted. Zero in here. Normally you'd push this to zoom in. As you can see, you're zooming out instead. And in a normal GPS and FSX, you'd up click here to zoom out. But as you can tell, you're zooming in here. Oh, there we are. 67 Lima Lima. Can you see that? Huh? 67 Lima Lima. All right. Thank you. I don't think we're going to need this for this time. Right click and you're good. Alrighty then. Let's bounce the brakes off. So here we go. We're just going to taxi on down here. The aircraft itself, by the way, maneuvering on the ground, you should always have the stick pulled back. I don't know that it has, I don't think it has differential braking. But it does taxi rather nicely. I mean, I could wish that my 172 taxis as easy. Oh, it does have smoke. And this aircraft is fully aerobatic. And she does make a little bit of grinding noise when she's taxiing, once you get up fast. So once you start hearing the grinding from the wheels, I guess, you know you're going too fast and you need to ease back a little bit on the throttle. Alrighty. While we're taxiing, anybody got Air Hauler 2 yet? After a couple of months, I finally got mine running. Yes, I am so impressed with myself. Chat hasn't changed on that. There's still nobody to talk to. I'm hoping that that may change. Oh, I do have differential braking. Alright, but the way this thing taxis, you don't need it. It's a very nice plane to taxi in. Oh, while we come up on that, the right side, that's awesome. Alrighty, and of course, naturally, we put the word out that to all of our fellow pilots that we are preparing to take off, and we're gonna stay inside the area. Let's do the light. Okay, we have our strobe on. You don't necessarily need the flaps for takeoff. Flaps 1, flaps 2, flaps 3, and or down. And of course it would be 3. Oh geez. Oh, Jess. Hello.
Hey, are you done?
Yeah, not really. Give me about another 5 minutes. I will be.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be over in 5 minutes.
Okay. All the doors are open. Come on in.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Okay.
Alright, bye-bye.
Bye. Now perhaps we should delete this conversation. Anyway, let's get the flaps back up. Right click, flaps down, flaps 2, flaps 1. All right. Hold back on the stick. Lock the brakes. Power up. And turn her loose. Hold back on the stick though. All right, 3, 2, 1. Ease back on the pressure. And we are airborne as we speak. It doesn't take long. The powers that be for this aircraft say flaps and landing gear should be up before you get to 80 knots. It's like 74 knots, 75 I think is the max. Yep, you can still trim the aircraft with the keyboard controls. If you've got your joystick set up, you'd be able to trim it that way too. Yep, this is my neck of the woods. This thing, when it dives, it takes a long time for the speed to drain off. Alright. Times like this is when I wished I had a separate hat switch so that I could flip the hat switch and I could be looking where I'm going instead of not. The Rock River, down that a ways, Dixon, Grandy Tour. Alright. And let's get a bird's eye view of home base here. Route 2. And there it is. Home base. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. It does have smoke. Yay. Easy does it here. Alright. Do the smoke. Boom. That's pretty awesome, I think. I'm gonna firewall the throttle. This aircraft also comes with a turbine version. It's fictional, but nonetheless, they have one. Clouds, courtesy of Rex 4, soft clouds. And here we have a nice bird's eye view of Oregon, or we will have once we get there. It's Oregon. Yay. Oh, did we stall out? Oh dear. Now, my settings aren't exactly set for snap rolls, but even with that, you can still see she rolls pretty good. Come on, let's see if we can get you to stall. Oh dear. Ease back on the throttle here, folks. Don't pull back too hard. And as I can tell, if it will crash, it can crash. Let's back you up a little bit. Okay. Oh yeah, she's quite aerobatic. Alright, let's see if we can do this power on stall again. Burlington Northern Santa Fe train tracks. There we have it. Alright, Oh, wait. Oh, we're going to drop off. Here we go. All right, pull back on your throttle here, Slick. Yeah. She's a nice flying little airplane. All right, let's see what we can do about getting her dirtied up a little bit. Okay, gonna drop the gear. I already put flaps 1, flaps 2, down. Alrighty. Airspeed's dropping a little bit. Let's see if we can get you down to a little bit above 30 here. Alrighty then. Now how's that? How's that for slow speed flight? Yeah. Put on 5 ticks up trim. Pull back a little bit harder. Oh dear, we're gonna stall. Really? So we're just gonna kind of float here, right? Let's go outside and check this out. As you can see, we're dropping off a little bit. Yeehaw. Oh yeah, that was fun. Easy now, girlfriend. All right, throttle's closed, and here we are. This particular airfield I'm beginning to learn, since it's a new field for me. It's a little on the rough and rowdy side. Alrighty. According to this, we are descending. But with my nose all the way up, I don't see how that's possible. Let's add a little bit of juice here and see what happens. A little more. At least to where we can get her flying level anyway. Oh, okay. So we'll just leave well enough alone here. And let's take her down, take her in for a landing. Boom. Alrighty. And smoke off. And go back inside. Boom. I don't know if we can get this thing to spin or not. We might want to try that while we got a little bit of altitude. Alrighty. Hold to what you got. Hold what you got. Pull back on the stick. Pull back. Easy does it now. Easy, easy, easy. Alright, you can see that we got nose up and we are dropping vertically. We'll pull us out here when we get down to 2400. So here we are. We are just dropping Easy, easy now. Get back here. Whoa, easy, easy does it. Easy, come on. Keep her steady. Keep her steady. Alright. Alrighty. Let's get a little bit of nose down here. Alright. Come on. There we have it. So now we're flying again. We're like 30, 35 knots maybe. Awesome. Alright, let's give us a little bit more nose down so we can get over that 40 mark. And then we'll come in for a landing on this side, on the west side. I think that was a pretty interesting flight. Possibly our next video we'll get all the variations out for as far as fixed gear, retractable gear, and we'll see how that works. Alright, we're gonna go to 0 throttle. Do bounce. Okay, we're gonna pull back a little bit. See if we can't slow us down a little bit more, because we're coming in pretty hot here. As I said, this is a very, very slippery plane. I just hope everybody can hear me. I'm not too sure where the volume's at for this. So it may be something that we might have to redo later. Alright, let's see about slipping it in, shall we? Well, come on back over this way. So much for short field takeoffs and landings. Alright, I guess we're going to have to come in from the east side. Let's have a little bit of juice here. Get us over the river at least. And we'll come in. Here comes Jess. Where's my gold tree at? There she is. Alrighty then. And throttle back. So much for a straight-in approach. Alright, a little bit of airspeed, which is going to hurt us in the end. And of course we're coming in too hot again. Alright. This was a spur of the moment video. My coach just sat down. Yay! Ah, dang it. As I said, this aircraft is very slippery. We can try and land here, but we're probably going to wind up kissing those trees. If you're going to apply the brakes on this beast, go around. Sorry for the delay. Alright, let's get our altitude down for starters. Alright, go to full flaps. Alright, we should be able to put her down here this time. Let's do the stall tactic here. Don't try this at home, boys and girls. It's been a while since I've flown this plane. Not my best landing ever, but at least we're down. Very slippery. Before you make a video with this aircraft, it would be a good idea to fly it for a couple hours first. So we'll just taxi on over here and we'll shut her down and we'll see how this looks. If we like it, we'll post it. If we don't, you'll never hear this message. Do 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 do. Oh, come on, straighten out, fly right. There you have the pilot shot. Hope you enjoyed the video. Next one will be better, I hope. Adios, guys.